is Ben, aka Downsize It, and today we are at the end. Final tournament prep battle. It has been a grind, folks, not just for me, but also for you, I am sure, seeing the same lists and or the same variations, the same commander over and over and over again, shotgunned out. This is by far and away the most videos and most battles I've played in my life. Not just videotaping, but I don't think I've played this many games of Armada in a row, ever.
I can tell you I haven't.
Yeah. So today we have, this will be my final practice with my Kuwat build, the dual ISD. And if you guys haven't seen already, we had already played, and it's released today that we're filming, so yesterday. And I did my final test practice going back to the squadron focus build, where it has the Quasar and the Gazant instead of the Kuwat. This is a subscriber list, and I'll have Rob tell you about the subscriber and the thoughts behind this list in the pre-game interview. And just a fair warning, the pre-game and post-game interviews on this one might be a bit longer than normal. And so if you don't like that kind of thing, if you would like to just get to the game, just use the chapter links below to skip ahead, or use them as stopping points. You can take a break and come back later to pick up where you left off. Before we go to the fleet submission, though, I do want to give a shout out to everybody that has been helping me with suggestions and comments and critiques and advice, all that good stuff. So many of you guys. There are a couple I would like to call out specifically, though, and those are the gentlemen over at the Brace for Impact channel. I'm not sure if you're familiar with their channel, and if you're not, go check it out. You see a link popping up above Rob's head here in a second, and there'll be one at the in the description below. And they were very helpful with talking through just some upgrade changes on the Kuwat to make it more efficient with how I am deciding I want to run my Chimera and my Min squads. And they weren't the only ones. Several others had very similar critiques as well and suggestions, but I just want to call them out and call out the channel. So I just want to make sure that we're all supporting as many Armada channels as possible. It's the old cliche, a rising tide raises all ships. Yes. So go check them out, give them a subscribe to the channel. They have a really cool 80s vibe. Like their outlines and stuff on the videos like neon, and they have like an 80s like style music that plays in the background. So go check out their channel. Thank you guys. I hope I get your names right. Chandler and Lane, I believe is correct. Thank you, Brace for Impact guys, for the assistance that you have given me for. And I'll talk about the specifics in the pre-game interview, what I did to just adjust the Kuwat build, etc. So coming up next, it'll be the fleets of the mission. And then you'll see Rob and I deploying in a sped up overlay here, where we talk about our strategy and tactics and go kind of in depth into the fleet designs, etc., since this will be the last time in the pre-game interview. For the Chimera, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn on an Imperial 2 Star Destroyer with entrapment formation to start. Commander Vanto, gunnery teams, electronic countermeasures, leading shots, and XI-7 turbo lasers. And Emperor Palpatine on an ISD Kuwat refit with local fire control, reinforced blast doors, leading shots, and assault proton torpedoes. For squadrons, we have Merrick Steele, Colonel Jendon, Captain Jonas, and Zertik Strong. For the list submitted by Yuri and being run by Rob for my final practice, we have Kyrsta Agate on a Starhawk Battleship Mark I, Walix Blissix, Ray Antilles, Katekin and Sholin, Phylon Q7 tractor beams, point defense ion cannons, linked turbo laser towers, Magnite Crystal tractor beam array, and the Concord title. A Pelta assault ship with projection experts and intensify firepower. A second Pelta assault ship with projection experts and shields to maximum. And 2 GR-75 medium transports, both with CommsNet and one with Hondo Onaka. For missions, Rob's fleet came in at 395 points, and Rob chose to be first player, so he had to pick from my missions. And for this iteration, I'm going with Advanced Gunnery, Asteroid Tactics, and Solar Corona. And Rob chose to go with Asteroid Tactics. I get to place all the obstacles except the station, and I get to ignore asteroid belts if I run over them. And if I do, I get to regain a defense token or refresh an exhausted one. Rob can also regain a defense token in an exhausted state by running over asteroids, but he takes damage as normal. And then I place the Exogorse on objectives, or not objectives, but obstacles at the end of every round. So at the end of round 1, I'll place them for the first time. Coming up next, you'll see Rob and I discussing our strategy and the tactics in the pregame interview with some pictures of deployment, because I was a genius and forgot to hit the record button during us actually deploying. Okay, so now that you guys have seen the fleets in mission, we're not going to see our deployment, because the genius that I am, I forgot to turn the camera on when we started deploying. So I took a few extra pictures, try to give you guys, I'm going to try to have them reveal in the order that the ships were deployed, sorta. Of course, it's not nearly the same as actually watching deployment happen. So sorry for that, guys. We just didn't want to go back and redo it again, because that would just be weird, and so...
Might take advantage of what we know, right?
Yeah, even if it was just redoing it exactly how it was set up. But just, I'll give you guys a brief recap before we go over our interview here. With Rob being first player, me and him picking asteroid tactics, I placed all the obstacles except the station. I placed all of them centrally in the middle. Mainly because I had an idea of where Rob was going to be putting the Starhawk, and I want to take advantage of the asteroids and in the fact that I can run over them with impunity and I won't have any problems, and that I want to run over them to recover defense tokens. So I try to place them strategically. And then he started placing on the corners, as hopefully I think you'll see in the pictures, but basically his deployment was set up based on instructions of the what was his name, by the way? Yuri, who submitted this list. And so basically deploying both GR-75s and both Peltas on the corners, and these are all support ships, pure support. And while he was doing that, I placed the Kuat first, dead center, just planning to face off against the Starhawk. Placed my squads as deployment sinks, and then placed Thrawn on a corner to come around a flank. You guys will notice this. My strategy on this is very similar to what I did against Matt Som's Starhawk list. Let the Kuat come in front and brawl while the Chimera comes around the flank. We'll see if that works. And then he places Starhawk in the middle. So, now that you guys, just brief recap, and you guys will see the pictures coming. I'll have them just be longer pictures because we know deployment happening again. Sorry, guys.
Enjoy the bond.
Press the red button when you want to record. Just a reminder to everyone. So, Rob, why don't you go first. Talk about this list. Like I said, you've been hanging on to it a while. This is and I guess this is a subscriber we've not heard from before. This is the first time submitter.
He's been watching your channel.
Right, but he hasn't been commenting, and it's first time submission. So it's been like one of those long time listeners, first time callers. Back in the 80s for the radio callers. So welcome. Thank you, Yuri. Nice to have you on the channel.
If you're too young to understand that pun,
don't worry about it.
So, Yuri put together this list as soon as Ben said, I'm going to a tournament, and he set up his first Thrawn list that you guys remember with the Quasar. I instantly messaged right away, hopefully set up. He had an explanation and everything. I was like, wow. And as I looked at it and read his instructions, and again, just like Franz and Matt did, and many others of you, of course, he gave me a very in-depth way of how to deploy and everything else. So, I followed the instructions to the letter. I hope. So now the one thing, and this was smart on Ben, mind you, and that was the deployment, well not the deployment, but the placing of the asteroids and obstacles, I should say. And that actually is going to be a sort of a problem, more than Ben might think it would have been. So I'll have to work with that. So Yuri, a little extra, and you and I talked about a little extra thing happening. But this list was so impressive and something that I know Ben has not seen. The reason why I say that is because, I mean, I don't know, you could correct me if you haven't seen it. The Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam and the Pylon Q7 Tractor Beams are both on the Starhawk. So, I'm not sure if you've never played against this or not, Ben, but...
No, I played with it. You and Robbie have never taken I think maybe Robbie might have tried once, very early on when the Starhawk first came out. The Magnite Tractor Beam, I don't think you could get it to work right. It just come out. But I had actually played with the Tractor Beam, I think, twice now. Try to do the speed 0, drop my enemy to 0, and then shoot him type of combo. But I've never played against it effectively, I should say.
Okay.
I remember like 2.5 years ago, whenever the Starhawk first came out, we tried it and just couldn't get to it. Just because it was new.
Yeah.
Figured it out. But yeah.
So I thought, okay. Ben's gonna say, okay, it's a Starhawk. Okay, the belt is, well, Matt songs we just played a few, days ago, whatever. So I know what's gonna happen. Blah 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 blah. I thought, okay, yeah, you do, sure, okay, all right. But then he found out that the tractor beam's on. He goes, oh, okay. I think that's another reason why you put the asteroids and stuff in the way, just to hurt and slow down some things. So now Yuri has done a great job here, and I did hold this off because I wanted Ben to get really comfortable. Yeah, I know. We're comfortable going against everything else, the normal standard stuff that we do, and some of the things that you guys brought up that we didn't even think to do, and describe the list, and throw one more wrench in his plans. To see how things are going to work out, because he might go, how am I going to get around this beams things? So I don't know how long. When was the first time you put up that? Do you remember how long ago it was? Months ago, or was it a month and a half? Or
it's been 2 months, I think. I think it was the end of May is when I did my first announcement video that I was going to be doing these tournament prep at res. So
he said that right. So he said that right away that time, whatever that was, end of May was that, and I kept telling Ben, I said, this list is something you're gonna play against. He goes, well, whose is it? I said, anonymous. He's like, okay. So he was a little worried for a couple days, especially after playing Matt and Thrawn and stuff. He did help me, sent them just like I did to Matt Soms. I sent the lists. I might even mention the Matt Soms bat rep. That the updated version of the Kuat and such. And Yuri said, before Matt Soms could even reply, that is the list I want to play against. He goes, that is my dream enemy team. He goes, this is a list, it's going to be a test for Yuri's list. So, this should be an intense battle, from what I understand from Yuri. So, we shall see. A lot of things. He's got Conquered, of course, because we got the Magnite title on the Starhawk. We got Ray and Antilles, he's got Waylex. I mean, you guys see all this stuff flying below me and everything else.
Yeah, they've seen it in the fleet submission.
Right. And we got 2 pelters. Both of them are going to be healing the shields up on the thing.
Yep, that's 4 shields a turn that the Starhawk's going to be getting, as opposed to 2 shields a turn they were getting with Matt's list with 1 pelter. Now we got 2 pelters doing healing.
Yeah, 2 pelters.
It's just a lot of stuff I have to chew through.
And depending on what engineering, if I do an engineering on the Starhawk. Yeah. So, and then we also have Intensify Firepower Shields to Maximum. So each pelter has 1 of each. So this is going to be a little bit, Ben's probably prepared for Shields to Maximum, but Intensify Firepower might have been a wild card. You might not expect that when you're putting things down. Because I did keep the cards really hidden from him until right at the end. So we placed them out then. So we shall see. I think it's going to be a good list. I think it's going to be a really good test for you. And I think it's going to be a test for your list. I really do. So, Yuri, thank you. Great description that you gave to me. I really, guys, you see everything else. I don't think there's anything I really need to talk about the list, really. And I don't want to give too much away that Yuri gave me to do. So I really can't say much more. So
sounds good. First, before I go on my overall strategy for this particular game, I want to talk about the evolution of this particular dual ISD build. First, I want to mention that a couple of you guys in the comments have been talking to me back Friday, Saturday. This was in regards to the dual ISD build, and some of you were saying, why don't you just use a sine moon instead? That way, I can have two ships firing at long range. I don't have to put the sine moon in as much danger as the Kuat, which wants to get close. And that, when I had my crisis of faith moment about a week and a half ago now, when I decided to try out a dual ISD instead of the squad heavy build, like I said, I was up all night that night, well in the morning, just trying different iterations of dual ISD of all different types, all 4 different variations and different combinations. And I tried the sine moon several times in that. And the primary reason why I kept going away from it was, one, at the time I wanted to put expanded launchers on a Kuat just to get 10 dice.
Right.
And also because I'm, it is, a weakness because I'm so married to it, but I love leading shots. And sine moons don't have ion upgrades, Kuats do, for that maximum potential of dice mitigation. I do know that sine moons are extraordinarily effective with high damage dealing with other commanders and other officers to really help out with dice mitigation. And I actually, a couple of days ago, I came up with, I might just try out a sine moon for my last game. Let's see how it goes. And actually had a pretty decent one put together with actually some dice mitigation, especially when you combine it with Jonas. Being able to, it was with Gunner Chief for Nillian and Jonas and Nita with TRCs, to be able to swap dice around just to maximize damage potential. But here's why I eventually didn't go with it. One is because some other you guys, there's been so many comments and suggestions, and all this is great advice, and you just have to take it all in, and just take it all in as a whole. And some very sage advice, especially from Maxwell Silver and a couple of other videos. Apologies for not getting everybody's names remembered, but was that you guys saying, Ben, you might be over preparing and just changing too many things last minute. Just stick with,
Yeah.
And that's ultimately why I decided not to try the sine moon today. I've been doing the Kuat. That's my alternate list to the Chimera Quasar. I'm going to stick with the Kuat.
Yep. And
just stick with that and not just making these super last minute changes. Now, the way that the Kuat is built in this one is different, and this is primarily, again, James Marr had this initial idea, but Lane Todd and Chandler Fleming over at Race for Impact really hammered it home. Since I put gunnery teams on the Chimera, take gunnery teams off the Kuat, and that allows me to put advanced gunnery back in my list for missions as potential. No one's going to pick it, but they might. I might get lucky. But on the Kuat, they said it would probably be better because with the Kuat, I'm going to be engaging at short range for less of the battle than normal, than like if I was doing long range engagements. But especially because I have Palpatine as an officer. If I have local fire control, like James Marr had, what I had one test battle with, means whenever they shoot me, they have to exhaust a token, and then I can salvo back, and I'm shooting at them with already an exhausted token.
Right.
And that's I think that's really sage advice, sound advice. The one thing that, when I did try that initial build from Irish Mad Cat, was that we also put a reactive gunnery on it, so I had 2 salvo potentials. But, and also you guys know that was the match where I flew right into, a double Akbar MC-80 and just flew into the kill box. That was stupid play. But one thing I decided that, with the Kuat, if I'm going to use it as a punching bag and a hammer, I need it to be a bit more survivable. And the advantage that a Kuat and an ISD-2 have over a sine moon and an ISD-1 is that a Kuat gets defensive retrofit. And when you take expanded launchers off and just put a normal, I have APTs on this one, put local fire control on instead of advanced gunnery, that frees up a lot of points, and that allowed me to put on, for this one, reinforced blast doors, and that is so I can heal 3 damage.
Nice.
Starting around. Just keep the Kuat alive a little longer. That's what we're going to try today. It is very, very easy for me to make some adjustments where I could actually put ECM on the Kuat as well, so that both my Star Destroyers have the ability to spend a brace no matter what at least once. Kuat will probably only be twice around. I can stage it in engineering at the beginning of the game. That way I can make sure I get ECM at least twice in the game. Right. Get a brace twice for the Kuat to keep it more alive. Yeah. To make that happen, I have to drop Zertic Strom and put in a generic advance just to make the points of it. But I think having the Kuat outfitted with an actual defensive upgrade that is defensive for healing or keeping tokens active, etc., I think will help with the base strategy for this particular build, where the Kuat is supposed to go up and get in the face of people and die, but maybe not die as fast if I have the actual defensive retrofits on there.
And make it pay when it does.
And make it pay with Palpatine and the Sabba's coming back from local fire control.
Right.
And in this also version, usually when I take local fire control with Chimera, when I play casually, I take out the contain so I can have both my redirects because I have advanced projectors on that build. Everything's all different now.
Oh, yeah.
I've realized that there's been a few games where I've gotten a couple key criticals that have been devastating, so I'm actually taking out one redirect and keeping it a contain now on the Kuat. That way I have one of each, but just so I can have that contain just in case to stop a standard crit from really screwing me over.
Right.
So that's what we're going to try out today for this final test of the Kuat Chimera combo, and thank you for the Brace for Impact guys for those suggestions. And there were a couple other of you, I'm sorry if I'm not calling you up by name, that were talking about take gunnery teams off the Kuat, put local fire control on instead, and then put advanced gunnery back in as your mission selection, just in case someone goes, decides to go insane right before the battle, and give that to me. Now let's talk about the strategy for this game. When I saw what I was going to be facing, and Rob decided to be first player, he picked Asteroid Tactics, and that
probably was another pro for you, because you used to be being first. You're used to being first player,
right?
Yeah.
It is going to be different going second, but it's actually going to be to my advantage, I think. Here's why. One, Asteroid Tactics for this build instead of contested outposts, primarily because I want the Kuat moving forward, not staying on the outpost. And two, because I want him moving forward and I can place the obstacles myself, I can place the asteroids in its way, so as it's taking hits, I can just run over them to get my braces back, get my salvos back.
And no damage.
And if my opponent wants to engage me that way, they have to actually be running over them.
Yep.
And the reason why I place these in the middle, as you guys would have seen on the pictures, all of the obstacles, is because it gives me maximum flexibility. I had a feeling Rob was going to put the Starhawk dead center. That's what I normally see with Starhawk players. And so he'd have to just go through that full debris field, asteroid field.
Right.
But let's say Rob placed in a corner. Start deploying in a corner, I'll just deploy in the opposite corner.
Right.
Just to keep them in between. And no matter where he deploys, I can then just counter deploy to put all the debris in between me and my main opponent's ship. And even though, because of deployment disadvantage, I still put the Kuat dead center, I can still easily, with my maneuverability, adjust based on how Rob decided he wanted to deploy to keep the debris in between myself and the enemy. This is one where I think I might, I don't know, I'm going to have to think about my tactics on this and how I want to approach this battle. This is very interesting. This is a Starhawk that's even more survivable than the one that I played against Matt Song's list a week ago, because it has even more healing potential from the Peltas and even more activation sinks because you have 5 ships to mine too.
Right.
So I have a thought and a plan, but I'm actually not going to reveal it for once.
No.
I always usually do tell you how I plan to approach a battle and give my strategy. I'm not doing it this time. But normally I do in every battle because I like talking about my strategy up front and see how it plays out. But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to let it be a secret and leave a surprise. And see if how I plan on approaching this battle will be successful. So, thank you everyone for all the suggestions and the advice and the comments on my both fleets and the critiques for both fleets. And after this battle's over, we'll probably have a bit more of an extended post-game interview. So stick around for that as we just talk about the final thoughts before leading of this final practice battle, etc. But in the meantime, we have a battle to fight.
Yes, we do.
So, Rob and I will plan our dials, and we'll be back at the start of round 1. The start of round 1. As you guys can see, the Exogorths are not out yet for this particular mission. They don't go out until the end of rounds, so for round 1 they are not out. Speed 2 for the Chimera with my potential flanking action. No Thrawn dials yet, and as you guys can see, this is actually the new Admiral Tater tournament system that I got in. And go ahead and check out yesterday's when I released the video of my review of it. This is kind of how the setup would be if I take this list and to Dallas. And of course, got my new range rulers with my channel logo on them with the matte black that goes with the tray system. Palpatine is going at speed 1. We've got Jonas and Zertik on the right flank, Jendon and Merrick on the left flank. And I also forgot to mention this. I took some pictures. I probably should have already shown the picture here, but I'm going to get some close-ups. I just picked up on the way to Rob's here. Robbie finished picking me up some advanced and bombers, 3 squads each, so I can have them in time. And then he redid his Jendon, and he wanted to try out the gray instead of the white. And this actually, he just keeps getting better and better. And the gray I think looks so much better. And decided to try it's kind of cool showing the little escort advanced following Jendon around there. Rob's entire fleet is going speed 1, except the Starhawk going 2. This Pelta on the right is the one with Intensify, and Hondo is on the GR75 on this flank. This Pelta over here, the medical one, we're proxying in because I only have one Rebel Pelta. We're using Rob's Republic Pelta to proxy. This is the one with shields to maximum, and then this is the GR75 without Hondo on the left there.
Alright. Here we go. We're starting off with the Pelta with shields to maximum here. Republic Pelta, we'll call it at the moment. And I'm going to go with, it's a navigation dial, which I'll be taking the token. And I'm going to be moving straight forward 1.
Alright, we're going with Palpatine on the Kuat. It's a navigate, speeding it to 2, getting an extra click at the 1.
Alright, now it's the unmarked GR75. It is a navigation dial. I'll be taking the token and moving forward 1.
Here we got Thrawn, it's a navigate, speeding up to speed 3, getting an extra click at the 1. And then after I do this maneuver, Vanto is going to tap and give me a token.
Alright, up first, the Hondo's GR75. It is a navigation dial. I'll be taking the token and moving up 1. Hondo's taking off first.
He's already ready to fly away.
Yep, he's banding ship.
And then we'll go and do the Pelta here, because I'm all done, obviously.
So the Pelta, that is a navigation dial. You're taking the token and moving forward 1. Okay, the Starhawk is up. It's a navigation dial, sorry. Ramus gives me an extra token, and I'm going to keep the token for the dial.
You only get 1 token.
I only get 1 token, so just start.
What do you want to take the shield damage?
The shield damage will go on the... Actually, we're going to put it on the, starboard side.
Starboard shields go down to 2. And that's it for ship movement. The only squads are my squads, and I'll be moving them off screen, and I'll show you where they go at the start of round 2. Start of round 2. I have activated entrapment formation. And just because I didn't mention it, I do get 3 pass tokens because I'm second player, not numbered 5 to 2. My squad started moving over here to the left. Get over to their carrier ship, which is the Chimera. And here are where the Exogorths have popped out for the time being. And also, just to let you know, guys, it is kind of warm today. So we are going to have the fan on. So there might be a little bit of undulating underneath the score that normally plays on these videos. Just
Alright, this is the unmarked GR75. It is a navigation dial, which I will be using to speed up to 2. And I'm going straight ahead, as we see right there.
Okay, going with Palpatine on the Kuat. Just an engineering, taking a token, and then using entrapment formation to speed up to speed 3.
Alright, it's Hondo's GR75 turn, so he doesn't jump ship. It's a navigation dial. I'm using it to speed up to 2, and I'm going straight forward.
Oh, with on the Chimera, I did a little flub with my planning on my dials. It's an engineering. I was going to take a token, but then I couldn't use Vanto. So I'm going to use the engineering dial. I'm resolving it, but you are allowed to resolve a command without actually getting its effect. Just activate a card, which I'm using for Vanto to give me a nav token, because I'm going to need the token more importantly than an engineering token next turn. Mainly to keep my nav fleet commands going.
Okay, now it is the medical we're just going to call it medical pelto, just making things easier, guys. It's engineering dial, which I will be using to activate shields to maximum.
Oh, protection experts.
Protection experts, my bad.
Yep, shields to maximum as a fleet command.
Yep, that was my bad.
He's transferring shields over to Starhawk, sending
Yep.
2 over, using 2 of his 4.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping 2 of his shields on his port to do it, and then using the 2 remaining to raise shields by 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, it'll be, and it's going to.
Yep. Now, use his nap token to speed up to speed 2. Because they have a bit of a threat. I know you guys can't quite see, but let me pull out a little bit wider there. Yeah, that's incoming.
The prize.
Those guys.
Okay, here we go, guys. Now it's the Delta with intensified firepower coming down here. I have a engineering dial, which I'll be taking a token, and I use the navigation token I had to speed up to speed 2. And I'm just tilting in just a little bit like that. All right, up next is the Starhawk. It is a concentrate fire dial. Ramus gives me an extra token. Take that for the moment. And I will be using the Q7 tractor beam to reduce the Palpatine quad by 1 for speed by 1. So now you're down
to speed 2.
Alright. And now I have him double locked.
Yep. Obstructed.
Obstructed at long range.
At long range. Okay, so for Rob's 2 shots for Palpatine, he's just spending a contain and salvo. It's not going to matter because I have no more shots. They'll just be refreshed. We're not going to actually flip them, just to remember the actual order you have to do things. I'm going to start side to side. It's obstructed, so it'll only be 1 red for a hit.
That's fine.
I'll take it. And front shot will be 3 red dice.
Yep.
Double and 2 blanks.
Alright. I will Caitlin Showin, yeah.
Sure you want to do that right now?
Because I will leave turbo lasers after the
Right. What's your command?
Yeah. Let's add in a red die. Crit.
Crit.
So, yeah.
Okay, Ken, right?
Caitlin Showin, yeah.
Yep.
Roll 2 blanks.
Crit hit.
Crit hit. Alright. Do I dare get greedy? I think I will. I will link turbo laser one of the hits.
Accuracy.
One accuracy. Alright, so we got 4 damage coming in. That's pretty good. So I think on an accuracy is. Oh, let's go for the brace.
Okay. Accuracy my brace. I will redirect. Take 1 on the shield, on the side, and then send 3 to my front. Front and port shields down to 1 on the quad. Just so you guys know, I didn't salvo back because I only get 1 red back, and it's obstructed, so I had no shot anyway.
Okay, now for movement. I used the navigation token that I had, and I'm using it to slow down to 1. And I'm turning, unfortunately, over these wonderful X-Garths.
And debris field.
And debris field.
So, first, you can take them whatever you want, but you have to take 2 damage, then 1 damage, then 1 damage.
I will be taking on the front, I will take 2.
Right, so from the debris field, front goes down to 4, and then the single damages.
And single damage, I will take on both port and starboard side.
Okay. That's it for ship movement. Well, are you going to do your tractor beam? Your other one?
I can't. I have to be speed 0 to do it.
You can do it at any speed. You basically make me match your speed. So you make the Kuat drop down to speed 1. You're also in range of Thrawn. You can make Thrawn drop down to speed 1.
No, I'm going to make Palpatine drop down to speed 1.
Right, so using the Magnite to force me to match speed, so I get dropped down to speed 1. Alright, so Palpatine and the Kuat facing off against Kyrsta on this Starhawk, and Rob's first player, so he'll be able to hit me before I get to activate again. And I've got my squads to move, so I'll move those, show you where they go, and also I'll be picking up the exocourse and moving them, and we'll be back at the start of round 3. Okay, start of round 3. Quite a few command phase, ship phase things going on. First off, I'm reactivating entrapment formation. Thrawn has revealed his command dial. It is a navigate. You notice I have some extra tokens here. That's because Hondo activated, and I got Squadron, which I put on the Chimera, and a Navigate, which I put on Palpatine. And Hondo gave a Concentrate Fire to the Intensify Pelta, which then activated Intensify, and an Engineering token to the Medical Pelta, which then activated Shields to maximum. And then my squadrons just moved forward as far as they could, primarily just not getting out of range of Jendon, and staging and preparing for this round, because this round I think is going to get active.
Alright, it's the unmarked GR75. It first of all, it's an engineering dial. And I had an engineering token.
You had a navigation token,
which I discarded. To take the engineering token off the engineering dial, put it on the Pelta that has shields to maximum. So, I'm just going to move forward 2.
Okay, it is Thrawn on the Chimera. It is a squadron dial, and then using Thrawn's navigate dial, and I will be using it. And went ahead and moved all my squads at once. For those that are new to the channel, usually if it doesn't matter, we just move everybody all at once at the same time, just for ease of filming and to speed up play. First coming in will be Zyrtec, then Jonas, then Merrick, then Jendon, all taking shots in the back, and then have a long range front to rear into the back of the Pelta that has the shields to maximum upgrade card. And then after my squadron's activations are done, after I do that activation before I shoot, Vance will be giving me a navigate token. Alright, starting with Zyrtec coming in. It's a hit.
Let me show back there.
Yeah, just one on the back.
I'll take it.
Okay, shields down. Yes, Jonas. Hit.
I will. It's going to redirect, and I'm going to redirect it to my port side.
Okay, one going to the port. Merrick. Stop your redirect.
Okay, LEV. I'm going to roll that.
Hit. Face down. Jenny comes in. Merrick, do it again, buddy. This time we'll just do crit.
And then I will. I think I'll brace first.
Remember the order here.
Evade.
Yes.
Evade first.
Okay. Hit crit.
Okay. And then brace. And then it's going to be a.
Do you face up unless you want to burn this, Patricia? You got 4 reds coming in from Chimera.
I know, that's the problem. So I think I'm just going to take the face up. Because that 4 reds, I might need that.
Thruster Fissure, if you change your speed, you suffer damage.
Of course I do. I love that one for some reason.
Alright, so 3 health remaining. Now the Chimera, taking its shots. It's actually not ideal. I don't have any means of correcting at this range, so just lock down both things. Take 2. First one face up. Crew panic before you reveal a dial, you suffer damage. Yep, I locked down both of you, brace and redirect. 1 health remaining, almost one shot the Pelta. Not quite dead yet. Well, I might try to ram you, see if I can get my speed up and get into your back there. Okay, staying at speed 3, getting an extra click at the 2 from my Thrawn nav dial. line up like so, and I'm pretty sure this is going to ram. So that's going to be very close. And it's going to be our shield dials.
Oh.
Nope, that does not ram. This is when expert Imperial piloting hurt me. Good thing this Pelta's crew is wearing the brown pants. Deadpool reference for those. And or Firefly. So we'll let Rob place these around my base, and I'll show you where. And the final position, as Rob was saying off screen, there's really, who cares where he places them?
Yeah.
Because Imperial squads are so fast, nothing he does will basically affect my gameplay. So the advantage of Imperial squads there.
All right, now we're doing the other GR75 over here, and it is a engineering dial, which I will be taking.
You did not use.
Not used because I passed over the navigation token it had to the Starhawk, and now I'm going to be going turning like that at speed 2.
I go with Palpatine. It's an engineering using the token I had to get 6. I moved 2 shields from the starboard to the port and raised 2 shields on the front. Then using Thrawn's nav dial and entrapment to speed up to 3, and then the dial extra click at the 1. Basically trying to swing wide here. Trying to get just as far out of range of the Starhawk as I can to prevent tractor beam shenanigans. And even if he does get me, it won't hurt me as much being this far away. So we'll see.
Alright, the shields to maximum Pelta is activated next. It is going to be using first of all, it's a engineering dial.
So before you reveal the dial,
before the little dial, I did shields to maximum, which raised 1 shield up in the back, which I lost, and then I'm going to use the engineering dial, which I'll be using to heal up the 2 crits that I had, because I activated it automatically.
So before that, he has to take a damage because he's using the dial, so he took it on his front shield.
Right.
Then using the dial plus token to get 6 to heal the 2 crits he had. So yeah. So now he has 2 health remaining instead of 1. Or 3 health remaining instead of 1.
Yeah, mouthful.
Yes.
All right.
A lot of stuff happened.
Thank you, Yuri.
Yep. And then he's got me double arced rear and side shot into the front of the Chimera.
And I'm
Two
taking
shot first, 2 reds. Blanks. They're still panicking.
Wow. Yeah, they're still panicking.
Yeah.
But now the back, outside, I mean.
Side shot. Hit crit.
Yeah, crit. There we go. They were panicking.
I'll just redirect that to my port side, both of them.
Alright, going to speed 2. I'm going straight. I'm only going to click at the 2 at the end there. Alright, next we're activating the Intensify Firepower Pelta. And it is a Intensify Fire dial, which I will be using a token to
Taking a token.
Sorry. And then I am sending 2 shields. Using my engineering token to send 2 shields from my starboard side to the the other Pelta in front of it that's injured to its port side. No, starboard side. Sorry. And then they're gonna fire at Palpatine.
Just do this real quick here, guys. It's just 1 dice coming at me.
Oops. Well, good catch.
For a crit. And what did you want to spend to take that shot?
I will spend my evade.
Okay. Take that crit. I will take it on the shield, and then I will salvo back. For a hit.
Just take it on the shield.
Movement speed 2.
Speed 2. Yeah, that's my best bet. I'm going to be turning here, clicking at the 1, and clicking at the 2 there. Just going straight ahead.
Yeah, you actually could have used Intensify with your other Pelta. Forgot that.
But, forgot it. So, hey,
Yeah.
that's what happens. Okay, Starhawk is up. It's an engineering dial. I'll be using to up my shields, which I moved up my port side and my front.
Port and starboard.
Port and starboard, sorry.
Yep, so they're maximum now.
So they're maximum. And then I'll be shooting double arc Well, I have Thrawn double arced. I'll be shooting out the rear and out the side into Thrawn's front.
Yep, it's long range, it's obstructed, and he also uses final tractor beam on Palpatine to slow him down to 2.
Yes.
Okay, starting with the side arc. 1 dice because it's obstructed into my front. And just Chimera has 2 shields down on the port side. Other than that, it's doing pretty good. It's a double, not bad.
Good.
Just take it.
Take it. Oh, sorry.
And then, so shields down to 2. And then the rear shot, 2 reds. Double blank.
Well, first of all, we have Kate and Chola.
Cake and a chola. Hit crit.
Hit crit, that's nice. I'm not trying to be greedy to turbo lasers here, the link turbo
Yep.
lasers.
Since you got intensify, it's not going to hurt you if it goes bad.
Right.
Still hit anyway.
So anyway, the intensify can't increase the. I use my concentrate fire token now. I'm going to add in another red.
You're not adding red. That's reroll.
Right, reroll, sorry.
Just if you want to keep trying for it.
Yep, I'm going to keep trying for it.
It's a blank, but then you can intensify back to a hit.
Power to bring it back up.
I forgot, Remus gives you an engineering token, so you can actually raise one of your front shields up by 1.
Sure, raise all my shields up by 1.
Gotta remember.
But I'm also going to be using my navigate token.
Yep, let's get to that 1 sec.
Alright, now we'll be dropping down with my navigate token. I'll be dropping down to speed 0, which I will then be using the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array and making Thrawn go to speed 0 as well.
Alright, then that is it for round 3. My Exogoras are right here. I'll just pick them up and put them back where they are. Or just swap them depending how your interpretation of this mission can.
Right.
It's the same difference. So, but Rob is first player. So he will be able to get, even though they're not going to be strong shots, he'll be able to get some sort of pot shots onto Thrawn while Thrawn is has been stalled out and is grabbed by this Magnite Tractor Beam Array. Start of round 4. Entrapment once again has been activated and Thrawn has ordered navigation across the entire fleet. We know who our enemy is here. Thrawn is currently at speed 0, Palpatine at 2, and Kyrsta on the Concorde is also speed 0. And as you guys can see here, it's not looking too hot for the back lines, but we'll see if the Starhawks can get some good shots off. It's still going to be the same shot it was before, not a lot of dice, but I have no defense. And I'm sure Rob will be activating the Starhawk. Okay, and also I forgot to mention for Rob, he activated with the token Intensify Firepower, and then the Pelta that has shields to maximum that is hurting and right in the perfect range of the Chimera. He decided to discard shields to maximum just so he can get its benefit one last time. And speaking of shields to maximum, we go into Starhawk. We have 1 more shield to heal it up, so we'll just put that up to 6. And then what do we got now for the Concorde?
Well, we're going to aiming at the. I'm sorry. Let's get it's intense firepower.
Concentrate fire.
Concentrate fire. Yeah, I got intense firepower on the line. That's all. Concentrate fire, and I will be firing upon the Thrawn in the front with my rear inside.
It'll be 1 outside because it's obstructed, 2 red out the back, and I have 2 shields where he's shooting me, and that's all that matters because my defense tokens don't matter for this shot.
And I can activate the Q7 tractor beam at the start of the activation.
Okay.
So I can lower Palpatine 1 more time.
Yep, so slowing Palpatine down to speed 1. I do have a nav token, but I'm not going to worry about it because I have a Thrawn nav down and entrapment. So we're just going to save my nav token for now. So Palpatine is down to 1. All the tractor beam is being activated.
Yep, doing our flank here.
Alright, starting with the side shot. Side to front. Hit.
Alright, I'm actually going to add in a red die here.
Concentrate fire. Blank. You have to use the token now if you want to use the combo of the con fire and the token that you get from Remus.
I'll use the token right now.
Yep. They have to be used at the same time. Accuracy.
Which does me no good, of course. So I'll lose. I'm going to do link turbo lasers.
Banked. Crit.
That's better. And if I do it,
Intensify just changes to a hit.
Right, it's not going to do me any good at the moment.
So if you really want to try to spike with Cakekin, but I'm assuming you want to save it for the other shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
the other shot. So
Alright, front shield's down. Now for the rear shot to the front. Hit.
Hit. Well, let's do Cakekin.
Both of them?
Yes, I'm going to do both. Sorry.
Hit blank.
You gotta get me. Well, let's do Link Turbo Towers.
Accuracy.
And
then intensify. So we're back where we started.
Yes.
2 face down to Thrawn. And then the Starhawk stays at speed 0 because Rob does not have a token to be able to speed up. Alright guys, I'm going to try to go for a Harlem Globetrotter's trick shot here. Going with Chimera, who's at speed 0. It is a squadron command. And then we'll obviously be using Thrawn's nav dial. And my squads are going to move them all at once because the order here is not going to matter, but because they are going all into the rear of the Pelta. We got Jonas here, just barely in range. Zertik will be coming in second, then Merrick, then Jendon on Merrick. My hope is that the squads will all kill the Pelta. After the squad command is done, Vanto is giving me a Confire token to activate gunnery teams. And then I will be shooting at his other Pelta that has shields down here because he was transferring them and has not had a chance to heal them yet. Then a close range into the rear of the unmarked Gazanti with gunnery teams. And of course, if my squads don't take out this Pelta, then I might decide to shoot at the Pelta instead, or if they get him down to 1, then I will do the split shot because then I can just ram the Pelta to kill it. So we'll see if this trick shot can actually work. Squad's coming in first on the medical Pelta. It's going into the rear, all of them. He was able to get his shields up, so shields up on the rear are back. Both side shields are also full up as well, so his redirect is functional. First coming in is Jonas. Hit crit.
I will be using the. That's right. So he doesn't have that.
Yeah, this is the intact. Yeah.
I gotta make sure that because I used the evade last time. So, crit, huh?
Jonas actually got a hit in. Jonas usually does nothing except blazing shot, for my targeting, but he finally figured out how to, launch bombs.
But I can't brace that.
You can. It's 2 damage.
Alright, I have to brace it.
Okay.
Put the 1, and then take that 1 on the, what side should it go in the back?
It's all going in the back.
All going in the back, so it don't matter. Oh, okay. It does. I'll take it on the back shield.
Shields down. Zertik. Hit.
I gotta redirect. This sucks. I gotta do it.
Which side?
I'll do the port side.
Okay. Merrick. Hit crit.
I will brace it down to 1, so burn that. I'm gonna take the crit.
Injured crew, choose and discard 1 of your defense tokens.
Yay. Should have burnt it anyway. So.
Yep. And then Jendon telling Merrick to attack again, 2 health remaining. And we got hit accuracy, which will be hit crit. And that'll be it. Merrick getting the kill shot on the medical Pelta. Well, the first part of the plan worked. So now, Vanto, I will take a Confire token. And I'm actually going to take my first shot into the Pelta. So these are the Peltas. Full hull, but no shields on the holes that I'm shooting, mainly because I want the Confire reroll on this shot. So 4 reds, it is long range. Okay. A couple blanks here, which then I will use Confire reroll. Yeah, that's alright. I will stop your evade and redirect, so you have to take a face up. My support failure, discard all of your command tokens. You don't have any, and you cannot have command tokens.
I cannot, oh.
Yeah, that's actually bad since you want that for your intensify.
You stack this deck.
You saw me shuffle it.
Yeah, but it's like perfect. Each one is perfect.
Right, they have been actually.
Yeah.
All right, and then into the Gazanti. Again, I always love saying it just because, you know, I love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great battle scene, and I love the ending, but you guys have seen the ending of Rogue One. Star Destroyer versus GR-75. And it was actually kind of a mediocre shot. But I'm not even going to leading shots this because I've got one accuracy for a scatter, and then I got Jonas to accuracy that one to do both, and that's exactly enough.
Down, yeah.
Yep. Well, there we go. It actually worked. Alright, then using the Thrawn nav dial plus entrapment to speed up to 2, and getting an extra click at the 1. I'm landing on all my guys, and Rob said he just wants them placed on the back. Again.
Zertic went on
Which corner do you want
starboard
Zertic?
side.
Starboard side on Zertic, like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Jendon in the way back, because he's only speed 3.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Backfield has been cleared out. The trick shot worked.
Alright, up comes the wounded Pelta with the wonderful life support failure. She can't take any tokens now, which is great. It's a concentrated fire dial, which I will be using, of course, so I can't take a token. Which means a 10's firepower is not going to be good that'll be good for this turn next turn. I'll be firing into the front of Thrawn there.
Yep, got no shields there.
He's got no shields, it's great.
And I'm actually down to 9 health.
Oh yeah, I do it with 2 dice and add in 1 for a concentrated fire. Okay, start with red and black.
Side
Fire
front.
away, go away.
Rob.
Don't tell me that go blank. Nice! 4 damage going in. I could intense firepower, but it doesn't make any sense to do that. I gotta die, what am I talking about? I'm gonna add in a no shields, right?
No shields.
I'm thinking about adding a black on this one.
Okay. So guys, the little pelter that could. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty.
Wow.
That's pretty incredible. I'm
Yeah.
So these guys saw their comrades go up in flames, just get obliterated. They're like,
No.
we're gonna get some revenge now. Load the torpedoes. Fortunately, though, I do have my defense tokens I can use.
Yeah, but still.
No, that was. I mean, it's the best shot you can hope for.
Right.
So, but I'm gonna brace and redirect to my starboard side, all of it, so take no damage on the hull. But shields down on the front and both my sides.
Whew. Look at speed 2. We did try to get the maneuver tool to
Yeah, it's
stay
kind of.
upright, but it's.
We're kind of eyeballing it here. It's close
I
enough.
had to.
Now, where do you want to take your 2 damage from the debris field?
Yeah, where do I want to take it, right?
You got 3 shields on the front.
Now I'm gonna have to take it on the front. I'm gonna have to because I need the shields on the side. I need it.
Alright, shields go down to 1. Okay, popping on the Kuat. It's an engineering, raising my final 2 shields up on the front, so back to full health. Using the Thrawn nav dial to speed up to 2, get extra quick at the 1. So I'm going to turn back in. Let's get back into this fight. I don't think the Kuat will be doing much, but it did what it needed to do. It got out of the Starhawk's firing zones.
Okay, the remaining GR-75. Moving 2 forward. Sorry. It's an engineering dial. Thank you, Ben. Which I passed over the token to the Starhawk. Because unfortunately, Pelta cannot take tokens. Really, it's a big unfortunate part. And I'm moving right there because really there's no place else to go. I could go sideways and aim at the fighters, but like.
Well, they're flying right into the face of a Star Destroyer. You know, they've heard legends of some sort of party bus and a mythical figure called Torrenfar.
Yep.
And they want to start emulating that. So
they do. They do. They want to become the next one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for the round, guys. Everybody's already moved. All squads were done on my activation. So we'll be back at the start of round 5. Start of round 5. I have used Chimera to switch to Intensify and have burned it. Thrawn has revealed his last command, which is another Navigate. And Rob's Pelta has also burned its Intensify. And the Exogors, I just picked them up and put them back. I'm just keeping them in the same spot, just to get in the way of the Starhawk to do damage to itself. Starhawk is still at speed 0, so I'm guessing it's going to go first, and we are hoping there is a nav command on that dial.
Alright, so activating the Starhawk is a navigation dial, which I will be using. So I'm not at speed 0.
And plus token with Ramus.
And plus token with so I am using both. I'll be using both of those. To really ramp it up and get out of this rear arc. Perfect shot for Thrawn. Meanwhile, I believe all my shields are up, correct?
Yep, you're full health.
Alright, just checking before I do anything else. So, now, first of all, firing. I will be firing upon Thrawn in the rear, by rear shot. So this is 2 red and 1 blue.
Alright, one black shot into Thrawn. 2 reds and a black. I have no shields on the front or sides, 9 health remaining. So actually, my redirects are not helping me at all here. Ah, you're at least going out swinging.
Alright, I'm going to add in first with the
You're not adding anything.
token I get from
Right, it's a navigate token.
oh, never mind. Sorry about that. I will, let's see, do I want to... You know, I think I'm going to do Kate and Sholin and then do a black.
Okay.
See if I get that hit crit.
Blank.
Of course, it's a blank. That's what you get for going greedy like that.
But you can just
So I
intensify.
intensify.
Go back to where it
And
was.
then I'm going to... that's 1, 2, 3, 4 damage.
Yep.
4 damage is good.
It is.
I think I'm going to go. I'm not going to be any more greedy. I think I've had much time of getting greedy.
Race contained. 2 face down.
Alright, now for the movement of the Starhawk. I am using the Ramus token this time correctly. And I am going up to speed 2. Taking a extra click at the 2. See if I can not hit the asteroid. Might hit Exegorth.
I think that's unavoidable. Yep.
Oh.
Shields over the asteroid, but you didn't land on the Exegorths.
I was looking at the second asteroid is what I was thinking about.
Oh yes, yeah, there's this back asteroid. Depending on how he turned, he could have done a double asteroid hit. So the critical damage to munitions. When you attack a ship, you have to remove a dice of your choice.
Yay.
Okay, we got Thrawn on the Chimera. I'm gonna try to do a repeat. It's a squadron command using the Thrawn dial, of course. And I will be taking a concentrate fire token from Vanto after the squad command has been completed. Do gunnery teams. And my squads, again, just moved them all at once because it's not going to matter. They're all going into the GR-75 because I could not get them to a side of the Pelta that was not obstructed. My shot from Thrawn front to back is obstructed. Didn't have the range, even with merit, to get to the side. So they're all just going to go into the back. I was able to maneuver Jonas, though, to be within distance 1 of both ships, so I get his bonus for accuracies on both of the Chimera's attacks. Alright, and we are going to be starting with Zertik going into the GR-75. It's a hit.
Take the damage there.
Okay.
Shield.
Shields down. Jonas. Hit crit.
Johnson's doing better.
Yes, much better. He's finally learned how to hit.
Yeah.
They actually loaded torpedoes in his bomber this time, as opposed to just lasing equipment.
Yeah. It's the accuracy guns.
Yeah.
I will evade that. Let's make you roll that.
Hit.
Well done. Yeah. Just not take the damage on that one. Yeah.
Okay. 2 health remaining. Merrick. Accuracy hit. Stop your scatter.
I'm gonna have to burn the evade. Go for the hit.
It's a crit.
Of course.
Just going that way, man. Thrust control, and it doesn't matter. Merrick again from Jendon. And got accuracy, which then I can turn to accuracy crit.
Nah.
So did it with the bombers. Then get myself a Confire token from Vanto. This will just then be for an additional potential reroll I might need. So going into the Pelta, it is obstructed. The Pelta has, yes, front to rear, it's obstructed. No, this has nothing to do.
Okay.
I can just run over asteroids, no problem. It doesn't stop I still have obstructed shots.
Okay.
So I am going to be taking out a blue. Pilt has 1 shield in the back. Shields on either side. He can redirect 2. But he does have 1 crit, so 4 health remaining. And Jonas is in range. Actually pretty decent. I wonder if I want to try to spike this. Let's first do a... well, actually, no, probably should do leading shots first if I want to try to spike it. I'm going to try to spike it. Because I don't think this is enough, even with turning one of these to an accuracy. Obviously would stop your brace. 2 shields. That would be exactly enough, actually, assuming you burning the reroll doesn't get you. Yeah, actually, I will just leave that. We'll Jonas this into an accuracy. No, we'll reroll first because I get a double, actually. Confire token, reroll. Nope, so Jonas to an accuracy. Stop your brace. So basically, what you need to do is you need to burn this.
Yeah, the base does going to do that.
Yep, and basically have the blue is not going to hurt you.
No.
It goes back to this, but then of course the double, right?
Right.
Yep. Okay. So didn't help you much. Let's see if it made a difference. So you redirect 1, take 1 on the shield, so that gets rid of 2. So that's still 4 damage internal, which is exactly enough.
Exactly that works.
Alright, I'm just using the nav dial to slow down to 1. And I've been doing this whole send my squads out, and then they have to scatter as I just plowing right in front of them, then send them out and plow over them again, and
Zertic on my side towards me.
yep. Alright guys, we're just gonna play this through. So Palpatine, engineering, taking a token, and then staying at speed 2, I think. Yeah, we'll get an extra click from Thrawn. We're just swinging out. It's impossible for me to kill the Starhawk, and the Starhawk can't kill me, so we're just going to do some final movements here. And that's it for the round. So then we would go to round 6, and first would be the Starhawk.
The only one.
Yep, it's a navigate. You can throw 1 red, like the Exegors, I'll just, something like that.
Yeah, they go back.
Whatever, yeah. And then you could throw 1 red at Thrawn if you want, just get some extra damage on him.
Let's go for it.
For a blank, Kaken. For a hit, you want to spike it.
Spike it.
Latent turbulation powers. For a crit, I will contain and take it face down.
Okay.
And then just moving.
A moral
Victory, at least 1 parting shot, like a middle finger
Wait, am I on that?
to Thrawn. No, you cleared it. You're good. And then for Thrawn and Palpatine, there's just a couple squad dials for Thrawn and Palpatine engineering. I was expecting Palpatine to take more damage, but I'll talk that in the post game, just like how my plan with him, just in case how things went. And then can't slow down actually, so we just go like so, and that'll be it, guys.
Looks just like the movies. I don't know why that the Star Destroyers always seem to pizza pie.
They like the pizza pie each other, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. So we will tally up the points, and we'll be back at the post-game interview. Okay, so there we have it, guys. As you can see, it was a bit one-sided.
Yeah.
It came out to 178 was my score to 0, which is an 8-3 victory. And which is, against the Starhawk list is a very good victory.
Yeah.
A lot of times if I see a Starhawk and I want to go for, just try to get 5-6 loss, just to try to mitigate the losses.
Right.
So, Rob, why don't you go first? I know you have some things you might want to say about the match and everything, and then I'll go into my thoughts.
Okay. Well, Yuri, I do apologize. I messed up my Starhawks dials, basically. I should have done all navs, obviously, and stuff like that, so that I could actually use the tractor beam correctly, the big tractor beam correctly. Positioning, because of the asteroid tactics, all the asteroids are right there. I probably should have went to the corner. The other thing about the corner is that Ben would have came in and just focused fire both of the ships right there. And whether you do that or not, I don't know. But I had a feeling that he would basically have done that. And it probably would have been, well, maybe easier to protect the Peltas, maybe not, I don't know. And I mean, he's got a gunnery team, so it's not a big deal. But for him. But yeah,
going to the corner would have helped you keep me in front of you.
Right.
It made it hard for me to get around you, so you could at least try to get a Star Destroyer kill.
Now, it was designed around a contested outpost thing. So if I picked first off of his, we contested outpost. With the Silverhawk, right? It's a show. Where the Starhawk would have sat right on, basically on top of the station.
Well, I get to place the station.
True.
So it would be placed near my end. You'd have to come to me.
Right. That's okay. That was his plan actually. And basically, I would just maneuver and take him out that way, and just keep the Peltas and the GR-75s on one side, which I did try to do. Unfortunately, Thrawn, being so fast as he was, and picking off targets anywhere he wanted to, with his fleet, as what we call squadrons there. And as we hear Thrawn toot his horn back behind us,
it was a victory whistle. Head back to Imperial space.
So yeah, it did throw, my deployment did throw Ben off a little bit. He was surprised. I'll say that at least.
Well, I don't want to say it threw me off, but
well,
it did surprise me because I wasn't sure what the plan was.
Right.
I wasn't sure why. I wasn't sure why you were deploying the way you were deploying, and what the tactics behind it were.
Well, the tactics are because depending on which side he came on, I could take all my ships on the opposite side of the Starhawk and make you go to the Starhawk. That was the tactics. It would have worked again if I planned the dials correctly, which is one thing we all can learn from this. Is plan your dials, and then that's it. But Ben's maneuverability is incredible. He's at C3, which is great. These guys all speed, what do you call those guys? The GR-75s can go speed 3. But the Peltas only speed 2. And you got entrapment and whatever else you got. So that really helped about by maneuvering. So, yeah, it came down to a lot of planning of dials and the basic setup that I picked. But the other two ones to pick were not good for me to pick at all. I mean, really, the asteroid tactic was the best one for me to pick.
Well, not necessarily, because if you pick Solar Corona, you could just say, well, I'm just going to pick a corner and cluster all my ships all together, and you come at me, bro.
Yeah, and that's true.
And that might have been a better play.
Might have been, yeah.
Especially, just because the reason, because I mentioned it, well, I wasn't sure what was going on with deployment when it was happening. Against a player that has also slow ships,
yes,
I think that could work. But because my Star Destroyers can go so fast, and because of the flexibility that Thrawn has, the way that I build them with entrapment formation and the Thrawn dials, I mean, when I saw what you were bringing, saw that you had the tractor beams, well, I just knew immediately my Thrawn dials are going to be next. So you can't stop it anyway, and that every time when it comes up, I can just speed up, even if it's just the one, and then use entrapment to speed up again. So I can always maintain max speed.
Right.
And by placing your guys so far away from the Starhawk on the corners, it's basically just invited them for me to come at them and just pick them off.
It did.
And when you have a fleet like this, where you have these major healers, with token support to help to make sure that you're getting
what you need.
You want to keep them all together in formation. And with the Starhawk list, you almost kind of, going in the center, sure, but like with you being first player, just picking a corner and just making it become action, and then just slow rolling everybody at speed 1, and just dun, dun, and then as soon as I get in range, you're like, and now I grab you and smack. So. It's just one of those. Sometimes, just as a learning experience, these types of games, and it did help showcase the maneuverability of my Star Destroyers. But I mean, that's nothing new for you guys that've been to the channel. We all know that Star Destroyers, when you're planning navs, when you have fleet commands, that you guys have seen, because I love running that way. They can be insanely fast and insanely maneuverable. And this is an 11-hole, 8 dice up the front ship just barreling down at you that can also swing around and do drift turns and stuff.
Right.
So it's one of those you don't want to leave support ships hanging out where they can just come out like a shark and just pick them off.
No.
And when the plan was done, I just, I told you about, I wasn't going to tell you my plan.
Right.
Like I normally do. I normally talk about my strategy for the game. I just want to keep it secret on that.
Yep.
And make sure you guys saw it. It was, I don't engage the Starhawk. I never shot at it once.
Yep.
I knew I was not going to be able to kill it. You had too much healing. But because the support fleet was put out in a way that could be picked off, I just decided that I'm just going to split the flanks, and whichever one started to go after, I'll just
go the other way.
Just try to run away from it. While the other one comes on and picks off your support fleet. So, and that's why, with Palpatine, when I saw you start turning for him, I just planned all engineering. But just in case I wasn't fast enough to get away from you, but it turned out I was able to. And Thrawn actually was one that was pseudo endangered. He actually ended with only not 7 health left, but
with back shots.
With back shots and everything. So it's one of those, if there was more game left to play, if you could start turning, you might.
Right.
But by the end of the game, I'm just in your back. And then I just decided just not to, I'm not going to chase you. I can't kill you, so I just slow down and then just let the game be over. So it was, we always talk about it, we don't like, there was some satisfying moments. I like doing my Harlem Globetrotter trick shots, twice in a row, basically.
That was awesome. I have to say, that was awesome.
I mean, as far as just me playing, as far as using my favorites and narratively, be able to use the Chimera and squads to kill 3 ships in 1 round, just them.
That's true, yeah.
And then to do it again to kill 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that is satisfying to have that.
It is, yeah.
So there was some satisfying moments there, just to see that, hey, it can work. It can do it. When you go, so.
And even those back shots that I did, that were incredible shots on the
Oh man, yeah.
I mean,
and that's the thing. If you were able to actually get your front arc lined up on me,
right?
Because your small dice shots were doing stuff. I mean, your pelt, for crying out loud, did 6 damage. I had to brace down. So it was on 1 shot. So it was just a matter of just deployment and positioning.
Right.
So but overall, I think one thing that Rob and I were talking about during the game, I think that overall this list could be very strong just as a turtle list, a castle list, just keep them together and just come at me. But I would take off the other tractor beam, keep the Magnite, take off the Phylon tractor beam, and put Leia on the other GR-75. Yeah, that way you can put, because one thing that Rob said that he should have played navs and all this, and he realized that round 2 actually.
Yes.
Because he had the Starhawk or the Kuat and he's like, and then he really realized it's like, oh, it's concentrate fire, because he was planning to use nav Ramus to slow me down to 0, and the next turn he had me double arc.
Normally you think concentrate fire is perfect, actually.
But it's
not
one of
this
the
point.
Yeah. So it would have been. So Leia on a GR-75, and you take off the Phylons, you actually get a little bit more of a bid to try to make sure you go first, because you want to be first with the Magnite.
Right.
And then you do that, and this list becomes very scary.
Yes.
And then it's just a matter of, now, deployment with this list is easy.
Right.
Just pick a corner, or if you want the center, do the center, but I recommend just pick a corner, get all your support ships behind it, stay at SB1, and just done, until,
Yeah. So I appreciate where you're going. Right?
Yeah, so that would, but, it was good to get one final test in with the double ISP. I was glad to be able to get the other test in with my squad heavy build that you guys saw yesterday.
Yep.
And now I'm going to take a break.
I don't blame him.
I'm going to take some days off. I'm not going to play any more games. I'm not even going to think about my lists and stuff. Just let my brain rest.
He says that his brain probably won't let him think of something.
Well, no, I'm really going to try. I'm going to watch a movie, read a book, maybe go do something else. Just stuff that isn't Armada. The last thing I'm going to do is just edit this video, get it out, and then have a couple of days before I make my decision and release my decision video, just so I can just let myself just clear my thoughts,
Exactly, you should do that.
and
Definitely.
and just not do anything or think of anything Armada-wise for 2 days,
Right.
and then make my decision, post that video, and
Yeah.
head to the
Yeah.
tournament. So,
So I would like to say, guys, all of you, every list, we did miss one list that did not get played. And Bradley, I'm sorry, there was one list left.
was Bradley Stevens? Is that
Yes, I think it was. Yeah.
What was the list?
It was a Vader onager list with one onager.
Oh, Vader.
And you wanted to play double onager. So,
Yeah.
And then we ran out of time because we had life schedules for a week.
Yeah.
I mean, we had work and all that jazz.
Yeah, Vader Onager is very deadly because you can
Yeah.
just kid it out, and I'm sure, what support ships did you have? Like a Simon, probably?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess it's probably an Onager Simon with Vader. That means you can just turn both of them just these massive guns, and then you just use Vader to get all the rerolls you need. I mean, that's a deadly list. I would still try my same strategy against it, but because you have the Simon, it's far more maneuverable than an Onager, and deadlier on sides, it'd be harder to get around. So maybe we could. I'll be sure to put that on the.
Oops. All right, so it would have been an interdictor.
Oh, an interdictor with Onager. Oh, so the interdictor to keep it. Oh, it's an interdictor with Ramadi. Oh,
All right, Minister to auxiliary shields, disposal carriers.
Okay, yeah. This is
And then an onager.
the Raider.
And a Raider and
Gazantes.
two Gazantes and
Yeah.
to fail and
Yeah, they're just gonna lock my squads
Sorry,
down. Yeah. No, this is actually, we should. I mean, send that to me. We'll put it in the normal queue
yes, yeah, we're definitely gonna
because we're gonna start getting back to subscriber lists,
Yeah.
subscriber versus subscriber fleets.
That's one thing I did want, and I did want to tell you, Sarah, Bradley, that no, this is not forgotten.
Yeah, no.
So I was going to talk to Ben about that later, and luckily you had the same idea. We're going to put it in the queue, so it will be played. Don't
Yep,
worry,
it'll get played.
you'll see it.
No, that's it. I'm just looking at it right now. It's a nasty list. That interdictor is a
it's
tank,
the interdictor. I didn't.
and you can help.
Yeah, it's got all
and
kinds of things.
Good early play because it has grab ship
Oh,
reroute, so he's going to put the grab wall
Yep.
during deployment. So if I get near, I have to start at 0, which would be horrible. So it determines where I have to deploy.
Right.
Yeah, this is and it's basically a tank as your command ship.
Yep.
And yeah, Cataclysm for a first round shot.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic list. Well, we'll try it.
Yep.
Put it in the queue and we'll absolutely try it. Yeah.
He might not play Thrawn for a bit. You were saying I think you're going to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And try something different. I'm
So,
sure he wants
well,
something different.
There'll be one more, but we'll talk about that after
yes.
the tournament.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, so I'll give for this specifically, just running the final Kuat test.
Yes.
I just want to give a shout out again for the Brace for Impact guys. Go check out their channel and subscribe to their channel. Give them support. Thank you guys for the thoughts. Even though the Kuat didn't see me play, he was basically my distraction.
Right, like he did
He
normally he's a brawler.
Yeah, no, right. So I mean, he did his job in the role that I needed for this play, and
Right.
I was able to actually test the new upgrades to put on.
Yeah.
But I think they're sound actually having the reactive gunnery, so I can have a salvo, but then putting an actual defensive upgrade so it can be more survivable as my brawler. So
yeah.
If I decide to go with the double Kuat or the double ISD list, I think that's probably what I would do with the Kuat. Put that out. So thank you guys for that suggestion, and everybody that's done all the suggestions, and not just on YouTube. Those of you guys, people have messaged me, private messaged me, people send me emails, and people have been talking to me on Discord as well. So,
and then all you guys have actually emailed me back and forth. We had a lot of conversations, all of us. It's great. All right, and I know a couple of you are actually going to the LSO.
Yep.
Yourself.
The only one I know for sure is, well, we know Aaron, your local, he's going, but Northern Hero, he's going to be there. So. And if any of you guys else are going to be there, hopefully I can see you guys there, at least say hi, and maybe see you guys across the table.
Exactly.
So,
you can fly your ships instead of me flying
yes.
and actually fly it the correct way. The correct way, all right? Unless you're bribing with wine, obviously. But, but anyways, no, it's been good. You guys have been awesome. This whole community has been
and I would not be here where I'm at with these lists and the confidence I have in going if it wasn't for you guys. So,
no, really.
Yeah, if I decided to do this tournament and then just, put my original list together and just go with that, all your suggestions, guys, has been massively helpful.
Yeah.
And strategic talk and everything. So
Yep.
one thing I do want to say about when I do announce the fleet that I'm going to be bringing,
Right.
and just want to know your guys' opinion on this because I'm wanting to be very open about my fleet. I wanted to,
Yes.
because this is a learning journey.
Right.
One thing I'm considering though is just to give me some, not just completely throw away my tactical or strategic advantage at all. Is I won't reveal my missions.
Good.
But if you guys are okay with it, because I did say originally I was just going to keep everything out in the open before I go. But if you guys are okay with it, when I do my announcement video, I'll tell you the exact fleet I'm bringing. But I'm thinking I might want to keep my mission secret. Even though you guys can probably guess what they're going to be.
Well,
I'm not going to be making any major changes, but I might make one
surprise
side, but
tweaks
there.
Tweaks, yeah.
But keep my mission secret just so that I can at least have that kind of tactical advantage going into the tournament.
Right.
But
And I personally think that's a good idea, Ben. You need something, just like you said, at least something.
Right. But let me know if that's alright with you guys. I'm okay with reviewing missions because I did say I was going to do it, 2.5 months ago. So.
Right.
But just let me know if you guys are okay with that, and just need you guys have any final thoughts. This is the last video. Give me your final thoughts on my 2 different fleets. Which fleet you guys think I should bring? Give me your opinions on which ones.
Right.
The composition of them. You guys already know the stuff that's not changing. The Chimera is not changing. That's American Gentlemen are staying. Jonas is actually staying. I don't know why I didn't have Jonas in there earlier. He has been key every single game I brought him since I put him in there.
And today he was not lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually did bomber shots that worked. But his ability to put accuracy, so Jonas is definitely staying as well. But other than that, mission advice and opinions.
Yes.
How to kit out my Quasar Gazanti and the other fleet, or how to kit out the Kuwat, that kind of thing. So those are all open for let me know.
Yep.
And let me know if you guys you want to give your opinion on which fleet or whatever. Some of you guys are already given it, and if you want to reiterate, or if maybe you've changed your mind, that's great. You have until Wednesday night. That's when I'm going to film my decision video, and I'll release it Thursday morning.
All right.
All right, so that's it. Thank you, Rob, and just for everything.
You're welcome. I don't mind being a target dummy.
Yeah, for being the guinea pig to help me. It's been very hard on Rob and Robbie because they've had to do so many different styles of lists.
Oh, no, it's
especially
great.
what they're not used to, and I've been being able to play the same list over and over again to home.
Yeah,
they have to keep changing and try new tactics all the time. But so thank you for being basically my practice dummies, or sparring partners, or whatever.
Sparring partners. That's better.
That's a better word. Sparring partner.
That's what you're gonna call it. But seriously though, the all the lists. No. I'm glad to play all these lists because, especially Imperials, which I don't play much, I'm happy to play them and learn them. An Armager, I probably would not play that for a long time. Same thing with SSD. Okay, I always wanted to play an SSD in Armager. But I'm glad to play it. And also, as I told Ben on those 2 ships especially, I was glad to play on this end because I get to see what he saw on how to actually, if I fight one, okay, now I understand how to fight it. Okay? Yeah. And then I learned all the different ships, the upgrades, the tactics, everything else you guys wrote. It's incredible. It's a real eye-opener. I've been backing away from some of the old ones I built when I first started playing. I was playing somebody on TTS the other day, and I brought one of my first lists up because I was just trying to learn the game. These TTS, that's all I was learning. I didn't care about the missions and all that stuff. He was teaching me, and I was playing it, and I looked down at my ship. And why do I have this on this ship? Why is Thrawn far on a blue dye ship? She's not gonna help it. So it was just kind of funny and kind of laughing, and then I realized, wow, how much I've grown. So, no, actually, I'm glad to play all these lists that I did. I think it actually was helpful. It really was. And then talking
about the best way to learn, trying new things.
Exactly, that's how it is. So, and I'm glad Ben got to hone in on his lists, especially for the tournaments he's going to. I mean, generally, probably Ben would probably love to play some different lists and learn some different things too. But this has been great. Great for me, and I'm sure Robbie would agree. It'd be great for him.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen, and I'll talk about this in my video when I tell my decision with just what Robbie's done with all the painting he's done.
Oh yeah, incredible.
Absolutely incredible, just all volunteer. offered to do it and refused to let me pay him. I keep saying, but he's like, no, I just want to do it. Absolutely refuses. Excuse me. And fantastic work. And I'll make sure I take up some close-up pictures on the fleet I'm taking of the squadrons and his paint job, and a little teaser. Maybe put some not really pressure on Robbie, but he kind of floated the idea that he might want to start making some painting tutorial videos to post on the channel.
Yeah.
So So Robbie, you've now been pseudo called out now called out on the channel. So I think it would be great, Robbie, if you did that.
Really
Talking with me about that last week. So
yeah.
kind of like have your own version of General's Quarters. We'll figure out what to call it for Robbie. His little sub series on the channel. So yeah. So don't forget about the giveaway, guys. Just real quick, direct to a $50 store credit. All the comments here that enters you in. Like I said, we're not doing specific questions right now because of the tournament stuff. So just comment on everything you've already heard me talk about. You already know we should be over. So thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
And until next time, take it easy.